What's up, LA Live Gang? This is your boy AC, and I'm back with another special live stream from the LA, excuse me, not the LA, Las Vegas NBA Summer League. You guys see the thumbnail, you see the title. Okay, so we saw the Lakers, we saw the game last night, we saw the Summer League game. Well, wait a minute, before we do all that, man. First things first. You guys saw the video the other day. Um, we hit a milestone of 1,500 subscribers. And hold on, let me just double check what the number is today. Mm, yeah, so the numbers have increased to 1575. So we've gained 75 new subscribers since the release of that video, and that was just a couple of days ago. So salute to YouTube, salute to everybody who's joining the channel. Salute to everybody who's been subscribed to the channel, has been supporting the channel, and salute to everybody participating on the community tab. I really appreciate that. Salute to everybody hitting the likes on the videos, commenting on the videos. Man, that you guys don't understand, man, how much that helps the channel and how much I really appreciate it. But let me tell you what happened yesterday before we talk about the Lakers, before we talk about Kyrie, before we talk about um, all this stuff that's going on and all the trades and all that kind of stuff. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on one second. There, disconnected. You guys there? All right, I'm back. So, salute to everybody watching the stream. But look, before we get to all of that, man, I want to give a special shout out to the man himself, the one and only Elder Rufus Carswell. Um, I've heard Elder, be on a lot of people's channels, um, from Ticket to Kareem, Showtime, and many others. And Elder, Elder is an example of I don't Elder example of a real one. You know what I'm saying, man? The brother, he goes and he helps out everybody, right? He goes out and he helps everybody. Um, I don't Elder. I mean, I've heard other people say, "Hey, Elder, you're like this on that channel, or you like that on that channel, and how can you be on this channel, and then how can you be on that channel?" And Elder's like, "Man, I'm just there to talk about the Lakers. I'm just there to talk about basketball. Everybody's channel, everybody's content is a little bit different. He accepts them for who they are. Now, undoubtedly you're gonna find some people who you just don't mix with, and then just how it goes in life. You leave those people alone. But the people who you have get good chemistry with, the people who you rock with, the people who you understand, and there might be some talks behind the off camera or whatever. So you're able to build camaraderie or whatever. But Elder Roofers, man, dropped a pretty sizable cash app, and he blessed this channel and he blessed me, and I really appreciate it, man. Because basically, Elder, sponsored this trip out to Vegas. Um, for me. So, with that donation. So I really appreciate it, man. I mean, you guys, some of y'all been around a long time. Some of y'all just been around for like the last year or whatever since I just started doing live streaming. But when I started this channel, man, like over 2 years ago, I never really ever. Of course, the goal is to make money, right? The goal is to make money, to talk about the Lakers because I knew once we got AD and back then we were looking to get Kawhi or whatever. But I knew the Lakers were going to be good, and I knew they were going to win the championship, and they did. So I was just like, look, I want to be a part of that some kind of way. So I started this channel, and like I said, back then I wasn't really inspired by anybody, as to do this channel that I listened to. Well, let's put it like this: I wasn't inspired by anybody who does the same type of stuff that I do when I first started, because I didn't even know about them. To be honest with you, when I started this channel, the only real Laker YouTubers that I listened to, that I really, really, really knew of, was of course Laker Nation, Trevor Lane. Um, who else? Um, you guys remember Laker Mike, LA Mike, or Laker Mike, or whatever? He don't do videos anymore, but I knew about him, and of course I knew about Dan, the Lakers fan, and that's about it. That's about it. But the people who I were inspired was actually by Tall Guy Car Reviews and Mr. Organic, and but they do different type of content. But anyway, I was inspired by those guys to do the channel. But I never thought that I could make a lot of money doing this stuff, and I certainly never thought that people would be like donating to the channel or whatever, and sizable donations. I didn't, at that time I didn't need it, for one. I didn't expect it, because if you guys know me personally, I don't be asking people for stuff. Even it could be situations when I did need it. I still, like, that's just me. I don't be asking for stuff. And but man, yesterday when Elder dropped, the donation and Cash App, man, bro, it was just very special for me. You know, and I don't want to be all sentimental and shit, but it's like, yeah, I understand what Cream be saying, man. It's like, man, there's like really people out there who are cool, who are real, who want to support you. And the one thing I really like, I mean, I like the whole thing, but I was like, but brothers helping out each other, man. I really appreciate that, man. So salute to Elder. And let me wrap this up. Look, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people who, you guys, as viewers or whatever, you got a lot of choices, right? You got a lot of choices, who you want to listen to, who you want to rock with. You want to listen to the live videos, you want to listen to pre-recorded videos, you want to come on and jump on panels, whatever case may be. You got choices, and I realize that. So first, I appreciate all you guys for coming through. But second of all, like I said before, man, there's there's nothing wrong with listening to Kareem and listen. There's nothing wrong with listening to Kareem and listening to Ticket. There's nothing wrong with listening to Big Baby Jonathan and then listening to Lakers Over Everything. There's nothing wrong with listening to LA Sports Live and listening to Bang. Now, everybody's channel might not be for everybody, but I'll just say this, and then I'll get off my soapbox. Like I said, everybody's channel is not for everybody, but the way I feel about it is, we all, for the most part, we all share the same reflection. If you don't know what that means, look it up. But we all share the same reflection, and we're all out here trying to do the same thing, provide, quality content, talk about stuff that we, have mutual interest in, like, with you, the viewers. And so, I'm one of those kind of people, like, I'm like KS, I'm like Kevin Samuels, man. I don't care to, I don't care to carry on beefs or whatever. I don't. That's not my thing. I'm trying to shy away from that. Um, that's not my thing. It's either like you like me or you don't like me. Either you like Kareem or you don't like Kareem. Either you like over Lakers over everything or you don't like them. Either you like Bang or you don't like them. Either you like Ticket or you don't like them. So if you like them, you listen to them. If you don't listen. But for me over here, I'm not gonna participate in any, you know, at least not on at least not on camera. I'm not going to participate in any beef. And if this food and if that food don't listen to him, I ain't gonna never say that shit. I ain't gonna never say that. So that's just me. So anyway, but once again, salute and thank you to Elder Rufus dropping that cash app. I appreciate it. And a matter of fact, while I'm talking about it, there it is. You guys see the cash app. If you want to drop a donation, I appreciate it. And that's it. And that's all the begging I'm gonna do. Anyway, so let's get to it. You guys see the thumbnail. You see the title. Now look, while we were at the Summer League game yesterday, um, me and Lakers over everything was just kind of chilling, checking out the scene or whatever. It was cool. Summer League. I mean, Summer League is cool. It's not. It's not. It's nothing like a regular NBA game. We were at the Thomas and Mack Center on the campus of UNLV, and it's not the same. It's not the same as being at Staples, or you want to call it at the Crypt. Um, but it was it was a fun atmosphere. Um, oh, dumbass, stupid ass uh Clippers. I mean, I don't mean to talk about Clippers, Daryl, but I'm talking about the Clippers. Number one Lakers fan, Clipper Daryl was in the building, and as soon he walks in an arena, bro, here he. You guys saw in the video. Here he goes, talking smack. Talking about the Clippers run LA and all that other kind of stuff, and then it was actually a competitive. It was actually a pretty close competitive game between the Lakers and the Clippers throughout the summer league game. Throughout most of the first half, the Clippers kind of just held on to the lead. Um, but come third and fourth quarter, the Lakers, they started making shots, and the team kind of came around, and they went on to prevail and to beat the LA Clippers, which was actually, I don't know if anybody realized it or whatever, but that was actually a must-win game by the Lakers summer league team last night. That was a must-win game, and their next game is actually a must-win game as well. In order for them to get in, I believe, in order for them to get in to the actual tournament and compete for the tournament championship. So one down, one to go. My impressions of Sharif O'Neal. Mm, I don't know, bro. I don't know. My impressions of Cole Swider, pretty much as advertised, bro. Good size, very sweet stroke. He's a shooter. He's a shooter. I think the deal with him is going to be he's got to be able to find a way to not get lost and really to defend and compete on the defensive end. He has to be competent on the defensive end, because if he's not able to if he's not able to be competent on the defensive end, if he doesn't develop that part of his game, he ain't gonna play for Darvin Ham. So that's one thing I see that Cole Swider needs to improve on. Scottie Pippen Jr. Um, you know, I think they like him. He's as advertised. It's kind of like a work in progress, but I kind of feel like he's probably going to get. It just depends what happened with the trades, right? Depends on what happens with the trades, and I actually think um, that he's going to get a chance to get some minutes in the season, this upcoming season. How many guys? That's this thing tripping. But anyway, yeah, I actually think Coach White is going to get a chance to compete. Right. I think he's going to get the chance to compete. Not Coach Swider, Scott, Scottie Pippen Jr. I think he's actually going to get a chance to compete. He's on a two way. He's on a two-way deal. Him and Coach Swider, they're on that two-way deals. So I mean, as it stands right now, I think they will remain in that slot. I don't think it'll be a situation like we saw last season where some people were slotted as the two-way players and then they didn't play well and they were knocked out of that slot. I think Cole Swider and Scottie Pippen Jr. will remain in those two-way deals, and we will see them at some point up with the big club. Who else? Who else? Who else kind of caught my eye? Mason Jones. You expect him to play well because he's a veteran, been playing in the G League, many years, and a couple other guys, man. They were cool. They were cool, man. I couldn't even tell you anything about the dumbass, stupid ass, sorry ass Clippers because I wasn't paying attention to them. But anyway, the Lakers pulled away in the end, fourth quarter, and they were able to defeat the dumbass Clippers. Now, you guys see the thumbnail. You see the titles. Get straight to it now. Like I was getting ready to get into. So while we were at the game yesterday, um, the story came out that Kyrie hasn't asked for the trade, or I think somebody dropped. That's what it was. Somebody dropped something in the comments during the live stream of the game that Kyrie is going to stay with the Nets. And I'm like, well, okay, where's that coming from? It's like the New York Post. And then, me and Lakers over everything we're talking. It's like, man, that was probably Sean Marks calling up one of the homies at the New York Post and say, hey man, run the story. Look, Kyrie never asked for a trade. You guys know that, right? Sean Marks called the New York Post, New York Times, or whatever, and said, look, Kyrie's never asked for a trade. He picked up his extension. He's not going nowhere. He's going to play for the Nets. Man, that sounds like just what happened. Somebody from the Nets. It don't necessarily have to be Sean Marks. But anyway, somebody that sounds like a story that was put out there by the Nets. And at this time of the year, really, when it's concerning the Lakers, when you hear stories, when you hear reports, and you hear people talking about this or that or this or that or this about the Lakers or that about LeBron or this about Anthony Davis or this about Darvin Ham, the coach, or this about maybe if Kyrie Irving is on the Lakers next season. You got to really kind of look at it and take these stories with a grain of salt and be like, first of all, who's it coming from? That's number one. Who's it coming from as far as who's reporting it? Um, and then you got to kind of look at it as like, what purpose does this story serve? Because nothing comes out for no reason. All right. Now, sometimes you get those dumbass reporters, they'll put out fake stuff. Now, people do make up, they do make up stuff. But, but not everything is made up for sure. But, okay, so you hear a story, it comes out, you got to think about who it's coming from, like who's reporting it, who does it benefit, and does it make any sense? Does it make any sense at all? And so when you hear a story like after all this talk, right? After all this talk, let's there were reports of obvious trade talks between the Lakers and the Nets. It's been reported by people who are very respected in the space. It was reported. Um, we heard the rumors about Kyrie wanted a multi-year deal. The Nets didn't want to give it to him, and so there was rumors about he was just going to leave the Nets altogether and not pick up his player option. That was reported. That was a legit story. He waited to the last minute. He didn't get the big extension, multi-year extension that he wanted. All that shit happened. It's history. It's history. KD did ask for a trade. That actually happened. It came out in the news, right? He went directly to the owner and said, I want to get up out of here. Now, I never per se heard Kyrie come out and say, "Look, I want to get out of here." But you don't need to hear that when you hear all this other stuff going on, bro. You don't necessarily need to hear that straight from straight from somebody's mouth, because there's too many other things happening and being said on the peripheral, that just let you know that that's the case. So now you get this, just a story yesterday, you get this story talking about oh, hey, Kyrie he never asked for a trade. What are you guys talking about? He never asked for a trade. And matter of fact, he picked up his player option for $37 million, and by all accounts, he's gonna return to the Nets. Come on now, man. Come on now. This is, I don't know, I won't say a last ditch effort, but this is just an effort by somebody on the side of the Nets, um, to try to try to buck things and try to spark things, as far as these trade talks are concerned between the Lakers and the Nets. This is what they're trying to do to get the Lakers to up their offer so they can go ahead and pull the trigger on this deal. Now, I believe we did. I don't have remembered, completely, but as far as I know, what the Lakers are offering, of course, they're offering Russ, but they're only offering one first round pick. You guys know the Lakers have a limited amount of assets, and the Lakers feel, now that's not to say that Kyrie is not worth multiple picks. He is. He is worth multiple picks. But from what I understand, the deals is surrounding Russ, a first round pick and a second round pick. And I believe that to be a fair deal. Now, like I said, I think Kyrie may be worth a little bit more, but if you're the only team, you know what I'm saying? If you're indeed the only team that wants them, if you're the only team really showing real interest, and we heard those stories, damn near seemed like 2 weeks ago, that possibly there were two other teams, I think Dallas and maybe somebody else, who were interested. And then as soon as those rumors came out, those those uh those teams came right out and said that's bull crap. We ain't interested in Kyrie Irving. So that got slapped down. So those stories that the Lakers are really the only team interested in Kyrie, they are probably pretty accurate. So if that's indeed the case, is only the Lakers really interested in Kyrie, why should they come out with their best and final offer right off the bat? This is negotiations, man. This is just not no damn free for all. Just give somebody whatever they want, any and everything they want, and just hurry up and get the deal done. Nah, man. This is negotiations. Um, you know, I think most people clearly would think that if Kyrie ends up on the Lakers, and the Lakers are able to move Russ off of their team, that would be a positive, right? That would be looked at as a positive for the Lakers. So, most people think that would be an upgrade, besides all the old silly stuff that people are saying about Kyrie. But everybody has a right to their opinion on that kind of stuff. But I think most people will agree that that would be an upgrade for Kyrie. So yeah, when you want to upgrade your team, yeah, it's going to cost you, but there's no reason. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason for the Lakers to come out swinging and flexing their muscle and throwing anything and everything out there right now to get Kyrie. I don't, I don't agree with that. I think they should wait it out. You know, I think they kind of have. I don't know if they have the upper hand, but it's moving. I think it's moving to that point where I think they have the upper hand in the negotiations over the Nets, because if there's no real high demand for Kyrie, um, for whatever the reason, I don't have no comment on what the reasons might be. But if there's no big line of people trying to get Kyrie, there's no need for the Lakers to bid against themselves to up the bid, to max the bid, um, right now. There's no need to do it right now. So that's kind of like what I feel. How the negotiations stand. Will Kyrie ultimately end up being a Laker? I think so. I think so. Now look, yesterday, myself, we went looking for Rob Palinka and Sean Marks. Now we were all over Thomas and Mack looking for Rob Palinka and Sean Marks. We couldn't find them. We ran into Darvin Ham. Excuse me. We saw Darvin Ham. Um, ran into Darvin Ham. He's sitting right on the front row with his wife and his family, checking out the Lakers. Um, we saw Commissioner Adam Silver. We were able to talk to Adam Silver and tell him that to we told Adam Silver, look, we're tired. We're tired of hearing all these negative stories and hate about the Lakers. He needs to tell ESPN to kind of put the clamp down and tell them to stop talking so much trash about the Lakers. He nodded his head in agreement. Who else did we see? We saw, now let me tell you guys, like I said, well, look, we didn't see Rob Palinka or Sean Marks, but we did see Superman. We did see Superman. We did see Kurt Rambis. And I said, look, Kurt, he don't talk. All right. He'll shake his head. He'll nod. He'll nod or whatever, man. If you ask him questions, that's about it, and smile. But I said, hey man, what's up? What's up with the Kyrie deal? He just shook his head. Like he just shook his head, like nodding it, like yes. I said, Kyrie's on the way. And then he stopped shaking his head. And I was like, what's up, man? Is Kyrie on the way or what? And then he just kind of looked at me and shrugged his shoulders, like, I don't know. But he had, when he shrugged his shoulder and said, I don't know, he had a big ass grin on his face. He had a big ass grin on his face. So I don't really know what that means, bro. As somebody who wants the deal to go down, I'ma just take it as, yeah, he's coming. Just hold on and wait, man. But anyway, that's the extent of it. We weren't able to track down Rob. We weren't able to track down anybody else except Kurt Rambis. Undoubtedly, the board of governors, I think they're here, or at least maybe they're meeting remotely or whatever. Because you guys heard they've been changing, like, they've been making some agreements and changing like some of the rules. Um, I don't know if they agreed or they're moving to agreement to a in season tournament. Hold on a minute, guys. Hold on. Yo. Okay, so I don't know if they've agreed, officially agreed, or they're moving to agreement on some type of in season tournament that would feature all 30 teams. And I think I read it briefly this morning. It will feature all 30 teams. It will eventually lead up to a 18 single game elimination tournament or something. And they will crown some kind of damn tournament champion, or I don't know, man. So either they've agreed, and I'm not for sure, man. Either they're working toward it or they did actually agree. And supposedly that was going to start in the 2023-2024 season. Um, we just have to wait and see how that is. We just have to wait and see how that goes. I don't want anything. I don't see the reason for an in-season tournament. First of all, but I know, of course, it's all about the money. Um, Especially they're gonna bring in all 30 teams. It's definitely about the money, so everybody can get a little piece. But I don't want to see anything that's going to take away from the playoffs. So this tournament, I got mixed emotions about it. I don't think the players are really going to like it because you're adding more games, and they're not talking about shortening the NBA season. So you're adding more games in season. Um, you're not taking it. You're not shortening the regular season. You're not shortening the playoff series. So I don't really want to see anything that take away from the luster of the playoffs. So I guess I'll just have to maybe sit back, wait and see a little bit um on exactly how this in season tournament is gonna go. Um just see how it goes. We gotta wait and see on how the players feel about it and see how these teams are actually gonna approach it, and just go from there, and just see the reaction and see how things go, man. Because right now, I can tell you right now, I ain't feeling it. Because it's like, what's the point? It's like almost a mid-season playoff, and the way things go now, so many players they think they're overworked and all that other kind of stuff, and they don't like back to backs, and whatever. I'm not gonna bang on the players, but it's like I just don't see them looking at this idea too favorably. But it doesn't look like they're really gonna have too much a choice in this situation, and we probably more than likely will indeed see um, the end season tournament. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Um, I'm gonna be here till later on this evening, guys. We might come back through and do another live stream. I just want to do a quick hit this morning. Like I said, I appreciate everybody coming through, everybody watching the live stream, everybody watching the videos yesterday. I really appreciate the help. I really appreciate the support. And once again, special shout out to Elder Rufus with the big Cash App donation, man. I really appreciate it, bro. I really appreciate it. And just want to let you know that. But like I always say, guys, this is your boy, AC, LA Sports Live. I will wrap with y'all later.